Yehudi. Put him a this year. Still a Chelek of the Fabrengen right now. It's like Motze Purim.
Motzi,
Yeah, and look. Someone showed us this morning a Sicha that it said, so the Meshulish, the Fabrengen. A big thing is Ish Yehudi. Kol HaMoide, Kol HaKofe B'Avodah Zorah, Oide B'Chol HaTorah Kulam. It's interesting that Rambam we're learning now Takei Avodah Zorah.
Today we finish it. Finally.
Today we finish, tomorrow we're starting.
Tshuva.
Yechus Tshuva.
That's the cool.
Okay. Well, the Unshim of the Torah is Chesed. When the Torah gives a punishment, it's not the Pshat. Chas v'sholom to hurt a person. It's like the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, the moshel of a melech and a godel of an oira, that's a roichetz a tzoyas benoi, and because he loves his child, he wants a child to be clean. The whole idea of the oynish is by a yid is not chas v'sholom. For any other reason beside take off the lichluch, take off the schmutz that's on the person, because Rabbi Hashem wants that the yid should come to be clean. So b'chlal, that's a klal gadol b'chol HaTorah kula. In this parasha we have a story of the egel, which is terrible chait, which Eden suffer from that ad etzem hayom hazeh. And there's a Rashi, an interesting Rashi. It's not a mugadik sicha, so we'll stop by kitze. And if we have time, we'll go on to another few in Yonah.
Why are we suffering that again? Is it just because we go cooling?
No, because the Eibush said that he's not going to, because if you punish them at one time, it'll be too much.
Yeah, but you and I had no shaykhs to that Arab route or whatever. But I got an answer from Steinmertzel yesterday.
Yeah, let's hear.
He says because we all go cooling.
Oh.
So that's why we're getting punished.
That's what he said, okay. Okay.
That's a lot for this.
Okay. This morning we were talking about this. And what's the people that don't believe in Google going to answer? They're going to have to give a different answer.
We spoke about which body you're going to get up.
Oh, you were listening. Ah. You were in the car?
No. I drove last night.
Oh, wow.
I drove
How many hours? Right?
Oh.
Wow.
Good chunk of that got cut out. It's kind of weird.
Unfortunately, a big chelek at the end got cut off. It's a very geschmack. Sorry. Okay. It says Vayakhel5785 also Yisrael beis Vayitchen ada shedog Vayizel apnei hamayim Vayashkav bnei Yisrael. That's a pasuk. Okay. So Rashi says, so he took the egel, he crushed it, he mixed it with water, and he gave the Eden to drink. Rashi says, the skaven,
They didn't reject.
I don't want to do it. Okay? It'll be worse. The skaven levoitkin kesoitis. Sholosh misas nedoidu sham. There were three misas. In Yesh, Edim Vasara. There was the Edim, and there was also a warning not to do Avodah Zarah. They were killed beside with a sword. The din is, if the Anshe and the Dachas were Merubin, if the Mu'atin, they get skilled, but if the Merubin, it's in other words, Rubik Kekul of the cities here in the Dachas, and then Misas and Besayif. We learned about it after Rambam recently. Right? Oh, interesting. Edim below Asra, and there was just Edim that they bowed to Avodah Zarah, but there was no Asra. Magefa, Shnam Yikev Shemasam. Lo Edim below Asra, Hidroken. They were killed by Hidroken. Shabotku Amayim, Vitzavu Vitneim. Drinking just like a soita, just like a soita.
No.
Exactly. The Ramban says, "We grew up in Yisrael. Actually, that love of God, and not when you're in the horde. Ish kaisa ma'asamayim. Actually, kazov a sort of emishenim nitach and sort of nitchenat shedok kasher hiski. Kalo pneimayim atino etzof ishkolahem or zoydo iselanach mat shev mash ketenim yishaka. Hashem ma'isa nisim that got mixed in. Akaponim rotza lavazo ismaasayim. V'tochen olokash shalakem. Want to be mavaza the avodah zorah. So he grinded up. He grinded up the avos, the whole avodah zorah. V'echnisem bebitnem sheitziu bereyu betzoya. Shnemet tizrim k'maydov etzei toim alay. They should see that they're eating up the avodah zorah. They said this is a gross avodah zorah. A getchke. Ooh, big getchke. Let's see what's going to happen now. We're gonna make it into dust. We'll mix it in the water.
It says that Aaron HaKohen made Egel, but the Mepharshim say it was he had a different intention. That's why he wasn't.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Well, it was to buy time.
Exactly.
He must have any
Exactly.
Weiter. Voi. Skaven levodkum kesoites. Tzofza bitam laf Lechem hu ha'emes. What it says in Yuma. Shola isha chacham as Rebbe Lezer. A smart woman asked Rebbe Lezer, "Ma'acha shekol shemas egel shovin." Why there were three different deaths? Some died with a sword, some with a magaf, and some. Yeah, why? Amar lo ein chochma leisha ela beplech. Technisch kashrus. A woman, there's no chochma for a woman. The only chochma as a woman is in weaving. In this week's parsha, in today's chutas, Kol isha chachma slave. What's the chachma? B'yadei tov.
So why the Gemara starts? Shala isha chachama. If he said she's not chachama only bepelech, so the Gemara doesn't have to start Shala isha chachama et Rabbi Eliezer.
I guess she considered herself. She considered herself a isha chachama.
No, but the Gemara said that. Shala isha. Why is it chachama?
Okay.
If he put her down, Rabbi Eliezer.
Good question.
Made Hannah's wife.
Yeah, exactly. Bururi. Yeah.
Buri. Okay, she is a smart woman.
Yeah, she was a smart woman. Yuma sagt die Gemara, Charles Isha Chamas Rebelez macht kol meisa Egel Shavin the Mayim Esasen Shavam Malay Chaf Malisha Laplach. Geen no einmal Malisha Chaf Blevet Biyadei Tav Itmar Rave Lady. God Omar that the real reason for the three different misses is like this. Zibech v'kite b'sayif. Gipe v'nishe. He made a korban or he did a ktoiris.
Okay.
So that's a full service to avodah zorah. The misa was b'sayif. If he just kissed it, hugged it,
and kissed it.
so then there was a lesser misa. It was a misa through a magefa. Samach b'lavova, if he was happy about the whole celebration, then he died b'hidroken. The second opinion said no. Eidem v'asiroe b'sayif. Eidem v'lo hasiroe b'misa. Lo eidem v'lo hasiroe b'hidroken. That's the Gemara. Rashi says, Zivach v'kiter, hen avoida shechavna leila avodah zorah misa. The time ba'arba misa is shehem b'skila. Any from the four avodas that if you do for the Eibishter, you do to any of the avodah zorah, it's a sky misa. The kam b'sayif, why are they getting killed b'sayif? Usually it's b'skila. Shadayin lo nispar shlehem, arba misas bezdin. Because the Eibishter never told them yet the din of arba misas bezdin. And the doinim and misas b'nei noyach. So therefore, they got judged with the miss of all goyim. Shakol misosam b'sayif k'lemin misaneder. All the miss of a ben noach through a sayif.
Who is Bnei Noach?
We weren't
Goyim.
I was calling Bnei Noach.
Yeah. So even the Masha asks the question that you're about to say in the tip of your tongue. Zivach v'kiter b'sayif pirish Rashi shem eskilav kam b'sayif shadayin l'sparshlam dalad misas v'nedonim misas b'nei noach. Shakol misosam b'sayif. Tenish l'farf t'shulman domar. Eidem Vasra Besai v'lo b'skilo my time v'udaka. And he says Rashi is doichik. Even the Hoya is akamat n'toyre v'lo Hoya b'nei noach. What do you mean? It's after Mount Torah the Jews didn't have a dinner b'nei noach. Gamim loinis parish dalad misses hoyle lishel beizem misa yodoinik which shall govern makoshes. If Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know which misa, he should have asked the Eibishter, like he asked by makoshes. The ksiv in echeva mishpek eloi porish mayasaloi and the chumash pirish Rashi binyan achad. It says the Rashi and the chumash said good. Eidem vasera b'sayif. Mishpek ilan edachel shem meru ben ayin sham. Okay.
His reckon is a mess that the Baal who had with the site that got the same.
Yeah, exactly.
That was there.
Yeah.
Same had right to the
Yeah. So the Rebbe asks a few simple shilas here in the Rashi. What's not good with the Gemara has two pshatim. So what's not good with the pshat? The other pshat the Gemara says. The Gemara has pshat that has to do with if samach belavav is behidrokin. So Rashi doesn't like the first pshat in the Gemara. Why doesn't Rashi like the first pshat in the Gemara? In a way, samach belavav would be a simple pshat because that's why it says that he gave Vayashkas b'nei Yisrael. In a way, it sounds like all the Yidden. And if you say because maybe samach belibur, because every Yid, even if he really didn't do Avodah Zarah, you could ask maybe samach belibur. And why does Rashi say Eidim and then Asra? The first comes the Asra and then comes the Eidim. And what does Bachlad Rashi think that there was no Asra? It says in the pasuk, Vayar Aaron v'yivim mizbeach lefonav. Rashi said that what did he see? He saw that the Chur was giving them Musa, that they shouldn't do Avodah Zarah. What did they do to Chur? Killed them. So he said, Vayivim mizavuach lefonav. He didn't want to be next in line, so he tried to handle things carefully, cautiously. So you see that Chur did give them hasara. So why is Rashi saying there was no hasara? And Takazoi, why is Rashi? The Rashi over here
was Miriam's grandson, right?
Yeah. And why does Rashi say a different shot? And the Rashi over here says, why did they not get skila? Because they got kamishpat anshe in an idachas. And the Gemara says a different shot. They didn't get skila because they were treated like bnei noyach. Why does Rashi say so one pshat in the Chumash and one pshat in the Gemara differently? Why? Okay. So Nakuda, the Rebbe's beard is like this. To say, for a child, to say that a person should be killed because he had a bad machshava is very shver. Even if he doesn't know the whole Gemara, the name Nishin and Allah machshava, the Gemara and Kiddushin, a child selects a person didn't have the machshava. He was samach beliba. He was happy.
Isn't that the difference between a guy and a yid? Machshava is punished, not a yid.
True, it says nagadet, such a thing. But that's even pshat. It's very hard for a child to understand such a thing. To say that samach beliba, that from that there should be such a big punishment that should be a misa. So like tzich by a child, such a pshat. So therefore, Rashi says better the other pshat that all three are oiv Avodah Zarah. If it was Zventzach, it was Eidim V'Asra, just Eidim, or no Eidim, no Asra. But all three got killed because they're oiv Avodah Zarah. Okay.
Rabbi Moshe Rabbeinu said, Mila Hashem Elai, and Bnei Levi came and said, go kill all your brothers and sisters. They got killed inside?
Yeah,
inside. This group.
So it says, Ish Charba. Tarba is Saif, not Skila. Why Chur is nothing? Because that's what Rashi says first Eidim and then Hasra. Because the Chur was talking to them not before they did Avodah Zarah. Chur was talking to them when they started building the Egel. The bowing to Avodah Zarah was next day. And that's not a din called really Hasra. It has to be Eidim, that the Eidim walk over and they see the person's about to do the Aveda.
Before we do that.
And then they tell them, Asra, don't do it, because if you'll do it, you'll get punished with a Misa.
But they didn't do
it. But Chur was not that way. Chur was it was the day before. Before they built Avodah Zarah, Chur was telling them, hey, Yidalach, don't do Avodah Zarah.
But they didn't do Avodah Zarah. They just gave all the gold to Aaron. They didn't do it.
Okay.
Aaron put everything together.
Right, but Chur was telling them before they did anything, before they start, yeah. He told them, don't do anything. But that's not real asra. Asra means that the Edom come along and they see the person's about to. That's why Rashi says the diuk Edom ve'asra. Okay, so and why Rashi says a different pshat in the Gemara and in the Chumash is like this. In the Rashi, he doesn't want to say a whole thing that they were treated like a goy. How does a child? From where should a child know that the mitzvah benoyach is beside? Okay, the child learned the story of Shem. Take, there's a machlokes. Why did Shem get killed? The people in Shem. What did the people in Shem do wrong? So the machlokes in the Rishonim. Some say because they were oivdei avodah zarah. How do we know they were oivdei avodah zarah? Because after they were killed, it says the Sichos Shiur necha as a lekei necha sheyesh biyadchem shlal shel Shem. So the Shem did avodah zarah, and they were killed because doing avodah zarah. Or the people of Shem they were killed because they did gilui arayos. Because Shem grabbed the girl and he did and he was mad at her, and no one was moichen. So the machlokes of the Shem, why were they chayiv misa? Because of avodah zarah or because of gilui arayos? Rashi doesn't hold because of avodah zarah. Rashi says that it was because of gilui arayos. So a child in the Chumash doesn't know that a goy is b'chlal chayiv misa for avodah zarah. So Rashi didn't want to say that they're misa. Well, in the Gemara, in the Gemara, so it's a davar pashat that a goy that does avodah zarah or any aveda gets killed b'sayif. So that's what Rashi said it. What Rashi says in the Chumash, in the Egel, the people by the Egel were killed with a sword. Usually, a person that serves avodah zarah gets killed with skila. So Rashi asks, why were they killed with a sword and not with skila? So Rashi in the Chumash, Rashi answers, because we treat them like ira nidachas. Then is if there's a city, majority of the city, or we're going with avodah zarah, so then they get not skila, they get killed b'sayif with a sword. That's an anomaly. Usually a person serves avodah zarah gets skila. In nidachas gets sayif. That's what Rashi says in the Chumash. When they give
all this is according to the Gesara baked in. But what happened with the Egel was not a baked in.
Why?
No, because it was Shemayim.
But Rashi says there were three mises. There were Edom Vasra, those that were Edom Vasra. That's what Rashi says. Here. Rashi says that Im Yesh Edom Vasra b'sayif, Mishpat Anshir and Nidach Hashem Merubin, Eden Below Asra B'Magefa, Shenema V'Hika V'Shem Sa'am, Lo Eden Below Asra B'Hidrokim, Shabokum Botkum Amayim, V'Tzav B'Tneim. Pashtus is that they had a lot of, just like what's the din with the Ira Nidachas, if the majority of the city is serving Avodah Zarah, the Bezdin declares that all the Jews should come and they lay a siege in the city. Wow. They break the walls of the city and they go in. And they right away make a lot of botei dinim. Three men sit here, 3 men sit there, 3 men sit there. They have a lot of botei dinim, and then they have Edom come for every person. If they see majority of the city served avodah zarah, then they take those people plus their wives and their children, and they kill them with a sword. And Rashi in the Chumash didn't want to say Anshir and Nidachas. He said Anshir and Nidachas. Why? He didn't want to say about a goy because he never learned the Chumash about the dinim of a goy. Li'idich, in the Gemara, he didn't want to say Anshir and Nidachas because the Anshir and Nidachas, anyone that learned Rambam or Purim, Anshir and Nidachas, a lot of rules. It's not so poshut. They really do are not Anshir and Nidachas. It's a lot of rules in order to be Anshir and Nidachas. So it has to be be'emes roiv, where there was no roiv. So therefore, in the Gemara, he says better that they treated them like goyim. Why? Because even though it's after Matan Torah, because as long as the Eibusha didn't say anything changed, so why should you add? Why should the dinim change? If there's a new din, okay, nitna Torah neschat shaloch. Wherever there is, you're not allowed to do avodah zarah before. Also, before the Torah was given, you're not allowed to do avodah zarah. The Gemara says, that Avraham Avinu had a Masechtas Avodah Zarah, and his Masechtas Avodah Zarah had 400 prokim, because there was a lot of Avodah Zarah those days.
Right.
So, Mela in the Rashi in Chumash, where a child doesn't know the din of a goy, he rather say a simple pshat that the reason was saif is like Iran Idachas. And in the Gemara, where your person knows already the pratim of Iran Idachas, and the Eden and the desert did not have the din of Iran Idachas. So it's easier for Rashi to say that it was like a goy that says Avodah Zarah is chayiv misa with a saif, and at that point the Eibush didn't tell Moshe Rabbeinu any differently. And even before Matan Torah, you were not allowed to serve Avodah Zarah misasa b'saif. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Okay, listen, as long as the Eibush didn't tell me differently, the din is the same." Atkan, the Pirush Rashi.
They gave everybody to drink from the.
L'chayda, they gave it only to the people that they suspected that did Avodah Zarah, because the Rashi says, "Loy edim v'loy hasira b'hidroken." But l'chayda, that means that the person was a suspect.
So how Bnei Levi went and killed 14,000?
No, 3,000. They had Edim Vasserol. They had Edim came in front of Bezdin. Every person that they came in front of Bezdin and testified.
They were
the Bezdin, I guess.
They could have been the Bezdin too.
But they all was forced to make Avodah Zarah. They didn't go in by themselves and serve Avodah Zarah.
Who forced them?
Aaron told them, "Come, give me," and I do something. And then they said, "Ele Elokei Yisrael." It's different. If somebody forced you,
no one forced them. No one forced
why
them.
they forced them? They said, "Where's Moshe Rabbeinu? Give us God." So he wanted to buy time. He said, "Okay, give me all these Lechem," and they gave him. He thought we take time. They right away gave.
But Moshe said, "I'm going for 40 days."
Huh?
Moshe says, "I'm going for 40 days." Wait.
Yeah, but they made mistake by the day. That's
They
the
make
problem.
mistake at that
So
point.
it's not because of that they get killed.
You made a mistake. You went.
They were 40 days.
You made a mistake. You took a red light. Fine.
And just the Shevet Levi were the ones that were assigned to kill them, or was it the other Shevatim, but only
No,
Levi?
only Shevet Levi. It sounds like
She-
because Shevet Levi,
The-
the Shevet Levi was pure.
Uh-huh.
The other ones, they were a mixture of people.
Uh-huh.
Some served and some didn't serve.
Oh wow.
Mostly
But the
Erev Rav,
Shevet
right?
Levi, yeah, the Rashi's the Erev Rav is the one that cooked up the whole story.
Let's do it.
The Erev Rav cooked it up.
That was a mistake. Moshe Rabbeinu.
Right.
He thought he could elevate the Rav, and he was
Right.
Ki amcha shehem. So
Right.
he told Moshe
Right.
Rabbeinu,
That
that's the
says
people
Amcha.
you let them come with
Right.
You want
Like he said, "Ele Elokecha." What's he say?
you. Ele, the point, what's God? What's this Eger?
זה לוקח, אלה.
Ele is pure.
Vayakhel שבספרדים. כשמדברים על הקדוש ברוך הוא אומרים אלוהים הדינים האלה.
Okay. Since we're talking about Eden that's in, so we have to finish off with something sweet.
good.
So we have to, there is a tshuva from the Rebbe about Kol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek L'Olam Haba. The Kol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek L'Olam Haba. But the L'choira, there's all kinds of Maimori Chazal where it sounds like that there's some people that don't have a Chelek L'Olam Haba. So there is a beautiful tshuva from the Rebbe on this. Shemati Oimrim Asher Apiyam Avur Bechasidus Kol Lechem Yisrael Yimish Yafil Rosh Gomer Kol Yomov. A person writes that Rebbe, I heard that according to Chassidus, every Jew, even the worst Rasha, Yesh Lo Tikra V'Soif Soif Im Retzayin Ha'adei Kfiyam L'Maylo V'Chayv V'Lachem Moisa Maylo Noisa Mishari Tum Mashenishka Behem Ma'avir Noisa Derakam Yonim Shal Tara V'Zichuch Ad Ashagam Hu Dovak Masachel V'Shorshi Mekoyre Be'orin Sof V'Choyre Temua Shmua Zu B'Yosef V'Kam Astiris Azem and Akosov Memori Chazal. This is a letter that someone writes to the Rebbe. He heard that in Chassidus there's this claim That every Jew will be purified. Every Jew will be purified. He says, that's not mashma that way, forget. In the Psukim, it's not mashma that way. Okay. The Rebbe answers, Tshuva. Number one, it says, Kol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek Lam Bo, the Kohen Lam Matzir. The Hevdel Began Eden, Lo Lam Matzir, the Gan Eden, Ksiv Mi Al Bar Hashem, the Kika Payim Avar Leilu, the Yesh Kamet Neim, the Shochel Alas Began Eden, the Yesh Zoichem Lalas, Rak Began Eden Tachten, the Gan Eden Elgin, Einem Zoich. Kol Segloim Began Eden, Rak Lan Shamas, Lala Gufa. However, Belo Matzir, Tchis Ameisen, Om Kol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek Lam Bo. Shahakel Yavoyu L'Gila Tchis Ameisen. וגם שיהיה בזה דין ומשפט, ולא יתקושר יסם כמו שהדין המשפט של גילוי מגן עדן, כל סגילו יהיה לשמש בגוף מדף. This is a maimer that he says that Gan Eden, some people are zeicha, some people are not. Some people get a bigger Gan Eden, a smaller Gan Eden. But another nafkamin is that here there is neshamas bigufi and here's neshamas below gufi. So the dvar meila bedrush rabbeinu azokim iber maschal lahovim bir inyan havis harem makov v'zel shoyne inyan laboshu Gan Eden tchis amesim avor ben forshim rabban b'shar gmul shik v'stayim who betchis amesim shemal tchis amesim yisera Gan Eden elyon. That tchis amesim is even greater according to the Ramban than Gan Eden. הנה בגן עדן יש נשמה צדיקים בלא גופס. תחיס המייסם, ושיעמדה בגופיהם. אפילו פה שישראל מלאים מצווס כלים, ולכן כל ישראל יש להם חלק לעולם הבא, תחיס המייסם, חוץ מייסם שמון החכם. עד כאן לשיים. So, we see from this to my morim, that Gan Eden, not every Yid gets Gan Eden. Tchias HaMeisim, every Jew gets Tchias HaMeisim. וכיוון שכמה מהמורים הימה והשקוף ראשונים סויסים הם על נעל, הנה להעתק איזן המורי חז"ל אשר לפי אני הזדהיתי, אם שיוסד לאומר בדרוש חסידוס, ולבר לתארת מה שיש להקשס הזה. הנה בתחילה יש לברר, משעה שפויסקים מה שאפשר הדור ושגם לשם גבורים, יבוא יוסף סויב, ליסקס בתחיס המייסם מה שאין כן בגן עדן. Let's prove first from the Shas that there is such a thing, the basis to what Hazeh says. Hazeh says, Gan Eden, some get, some don't, some get bigger, some get smaller. But Tchias HaMeisim, every single Jew, without exception, gets it. Number one, Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Kol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek L'Olam Haba, Ve'elu She'en Lam Chelek L'Olam Haba, Yerovam Achav HaMenashe. Pasuk HaRambam, Hilchos Shuvah, tomorrow the Rambam, Shekol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek L'Olam Haba, Afav B'Shechota, Ve'elu She'en Lam Chelek מדבר אומרים שכל החם האלה אין חלק מהבוק, שמייז בלא תשובה. ומשוב מנישה אפילו כופה ביקה כל יום ואחרינו שוב, יש לה חלק למבוא. מויסר, האלה כל השם אומרים שחוזר בתשובה, ואף בשעדיין שבבו, בסייס השוב אלא בגולו, קבל נויסר בתשובה.
Obviously, when he sees the Shammai goes into Gan Eden, can do Chazar with Tshuva anymore.
Right.
Tchias HaMeisim gets another chance. I guess.
Oh, he didn't say that. Here he didn't say about Tchias HaMeisim.
That's my question. What happens in Tchias HaMeisim? All the Jews.
He says here that we didn't get you to it. He says as if he was alive, he has a chilek n'olam haba. But he has to be alive before he dies. L'mata mizeh, mish lo yishav afilu b'seizek, he meiz b'rishe, mish lo trufa, amr razal, b'ro mizaka abba. Pirish afilu shima ben tzadik, maybe l'chai olam haba is oviv, shkvar meiz, that a child could bring his father to Olam Haba. Sorry, choyel lias nimna ben elu shein lam chelek v'olam haba. And afilu b'lo tefila al zem etzad haben, ki b'tefila gam abba mezake bro. Umeshkosa b'tefila shein in the Tosus. That the Tosus says that even if the guy didn't do tshuva, had no tefila, if his son is going to be mishtadl for his father, it's going to help his father. Even if it's not his son. Kisa b'chagiga d'oil Rabbi Yochanan, Lalisha Ake.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was a story.
You're right, that there was a story where there came smoke from his thing. Avshaloi kroive v'lo talmidei. Ela she'ein tfilas achirim yofa kol kach k'mo tfilas haben v'af. K'kama miles b'tfila b'hesem lisha mispal makom ha'tfila. But
Lapoil, anyone could daven for him. Void Yesh Lavirai, the Tfilas Acherim Mahani Aflacha Misam, Od Isa. V'sifri Sel Parsha Shoftim, Shalachol Yoitzim Mitzrayim Shemesu, Var Yesh Kapore Yedei Shezikne Bezdin Dir Achas Mevin Egla Rufa. That it says in Sifrei that they should know that all the people of Mitzrayim had already a kapora through the Egla Rufa. V'efsher Lachalot Minid Nedan. Shani Osam Shebeznim Shluchim Kol Ho'ir Birzi Yerovim Vimken Enem Elam Mesalkim Ma'al Yoitzim Mitzrayim Machaper Maleim Elam Shosam Shalchem Avaloi Mashmakim Kimedim Sifri Zelom de Lador Tzidkis Be'ad Hamesim. We hear from here that that you could give tzedakah from the Mesim. Kedisa Boyer Chaim Soif Simon Tov Reish Chof Aleph Minig Yisrael Lodu Gam Be'ad Mesim She'enim Kroivov. So we see
that's the Indian Avirat side, no?
Yeah, that they give tzedakah in his honor. Choloifen that they they Kaddish. Choloifen in the Deme Mamish Lindedan Ksham Koi Be'Mesim Tzadikim. The Misharim Shimoy Bachayim Hoynoisim L'Tzedakah L'Rishoyim Loi Mahani. Lamatam is there's another level. Mishu Mesugei L'Shein Lam Chelek L'Mavav L'Shov Lo Yispalalu Lo Yinosnu Tzedakah. He won number one. He's from the people that don't have Elam Haba. He never did tshuva and he never davened. No one gave tzedakah for him. Ein L'Chelek L'Mavav Davkek V'Shaloi Nifrim Menu L'Achem Misa. Nifrim Menu. If they took a punishment from him, Apiram Matzila Moyalo, if K'mayim Razal, Chsim Yafim L'Meishin, Nifrim Menu L'Achem Misa, Yesh L'Kapora B'Kach, Filu B'Shem Gemurim, Mahanilu, Kedisa Sham, Sheyokim Ayro L'Mnoisim Yerovim, Achem V'Menashe, V'Adarabbe, Yichis Yosim Menashe, and L'Shin Eskapaloi, as Deishin is Baza Achem Misosim. The Gemara says that they took him on a bed, and they schlepped him after his death, and they were mevazeh him. His son did it for his father, especially to be mechaper for his katoin. Idolus and Metzinim Yerushalmi, Dafilu Yerovam, V'Chaveiriv, Shemonim Oysu Shem Lam Chelek L'Mabohinu, Al Yedei Ashershonim Rabbis Achem Yisosam, Nisrifu Gufon. The Gemara says that they were big Rishonim, Yerovam ben Avot, but their bodies got burnt after their death. Nasas ben Midas Adin, B'Tzuriv, Schus Ha'oretz, Yisku L'Tchiyah. Okay, so we have many things at levels where person that are very, very from the worst sinners, that shaykh that should come to Olam Haba. Vein le'akshisim kem mashna yerovim v'chaverim d'monos v'masisim shein lam chelek l'olam haba she'eskap lam chap aloi monos yokim then dem zelazeh b'yokim hod kfuris chamor yikover zigzar dinei shelo lasis achet b'chayv nigzer alam v'shein kem b'yerovim v'chaverim shelo yo enish asrei falim kim ala etisro lach kamashon other shem kfurim v'meila gam go from Nisra.
He was chote umachti, right?
Yeah. They were the worst of the worst.
So many in this generation was chote umachti. Why he is the only one?
Because we had a Torah. He was
All
warned.
these guys were all
warned.
the worst guys in the world.
They were warned by the Navim.
These guys were the worst of the worst.
Make a trial.
Yeah.
Look at the next ois. Lachishin is bought ilaf shoritz adover. Yesh laverai sheyiyekem. You see a lot of nekudas in Chazal that even the worst Rosha could end up having Olam Haba. Now we're being a raya that it must be that every Jew will have Olam Haba. Is barley ill the Shuva?
On the bottom line, he's saying that they do have favor. So the top line says in repeal.
And that's what we're going to deal with. Is barley ill the Shuva l'chol mahani. Hine Omer Hazal, Chazal said, Farichticha Torah shesoif Yisrael lasas Shuva b'sem galuson.
Mahani.
So, yeah.
When was it?
Yeah, it's Mahani. It's Mahani. Mahani doesn't only mean to have pleasure. Mahani means it helps.
That's someone, yeah.
No, Mahana means to give hana'ah.
Right.
But in Arami, Mahani means it helps. Hine yochel loime shebechol anal hine kebekam akemes gam poi al toire al roiv te daber. That ve'ein lahavim zerai shekol ha'shavachim Yisrael ha'fil l'shem gemurim yeshuva. Maybe when the Rambam says if Tifa Torah Yisrael Yisrael Lasmas Tshuva,
So it means Roiv Yid. Who says every Jew? Al Mavur Adava Be'edivin, the Kamasham, the Gemara said, Einim Toivim El Tzadikim Gemuri. Einim Roim El Shem Gemuri. Shema Atoimer Ovet Sivram Vabotel Sekoim. Tamaloimer Hadudoim Nos Nureach Elav Elav. Asid Meshit Nureach. So it's like a Fedish Gemara, that the Gemara is saying that even the Rishem Gemurim are going to give a Reach. And Kamashit Nureach, Raya Gamkin, Shein Lo Mesharak, Yivsik Din of you, Lochain, of Lanadun, Vishnum, Loteva, Bledo. No, because it's mashma that Yit Nureach, Oicham Be'edevin, the Krav Yotza, Vero, Bepigra Anoshim, Vishim Lutachoi, Koi, Bepoishim, Masoilam. The Gemara says, when the Pasuk says, that there's going to be a fire that's going to be burning on the Rishayim, it's talking about the Goy. Avapoishi Yisrael, Achai Veraka Hu Shaita Begehenim, Vose Avram, Avinu, Umapik Lahu. And Avram Avinu is going to take them out. Makabelahu. The Gemara says, Bar Yisrael Shabar Nochlis. Besides a Yid that was boiled on Nochlis, Avram Avinu doesn't want to take him out. Again, Bazeh Pirish Betoishes.
Avraham Avinu.
Huh?
Why was
The father of all the Yid.
first
He
time.
pulls out all the Yid.
Why a boy Nachrit would not take him out?
Because that's a worse sin that could be. Again, Bazeh. Again, Bazeh Pirish Betoishes. The Kavon Yid Yisrael Abo Agoy Ein Oilo Miyan. L'shoy Sham Yud Beis Chodesh. Okay. So the Gemara in Erevin is mashma very strong. Number one, that every Yid is going to do tshuva, not only Roiv Bnei Yisrael, and number two, that Avraham Avinu schleps every Yid out of Gehenna. Al Sheraya Zu Yeshlitz Katapim Hachkosa Betoisves L'Lokoy Al Poish Yisrael Begufa. B'Kol Zeh Lo Yikshal Atois B'Chagiga Lam Furish Bekrod Yishaya B'Poish Masalim B'Loi B'Poish Yisrael Begufa Kizu Kimtam Ravachas. Okay, you could still kvetch in the Gemara. V'Hinei Binyan Av Mikro Shekolach Yisrael Yizdabek B'Shorshim U'Mashanemar. Be'emes it's a posuk that Rebbe says. It says in Shmuel Beis, Yudalad. There was this woman that made believe that she wanted to, and she asked all kinds of questions to the David HaMelech. And she said the whole thing to him. She said, Choshav Machshavas, Lebilti Yidach Mimena Nidach. Oh, what's the pshat in the posuk? Choshav Machshavas, Lebilti Yidach Mimena Nidach. The Rebbe says the pshat in the pasuk is that the Eibush is choshev machshavas. The Eibush has all kinds of machshavas. The bilti yidach man and nidach, and no Jew should ever be fallen away. Rosh yachzeh b'tshuva begilgul zeh, oy begilgul acher, k'meshkosav k'lo yidach man and nidach. The Alter Rebbe teaches that that's a pshat. Choshev machshavas. The Eibush had all kinds of machshavas. That no Yid should ever be nidach, it should be pushed away. Tanya says in Sof Perek Lametes, Shebevad Sefer Lasses Tshuva, Begilgul Zeh, Oy Begilgul Acher, Kelo Yidach Mimenu Nidach. Okay, so we have here.
שלא ידח נידח לצפותיית המתק? קדוש ברוך הוא.
Baal Rebbe teaches
This is answering the question that if the bottom does get a failure, what happens to the top line?
exactly what happened with the top line. So he's going to say he has a few shots to answer that kasha. והנה כשנעמק בטעם הדובר, ממילא יובן שהוא מוכרח ליסקן. הנה נלהטק בזה, כיוון שאיני ספר מוצוי, ספר ומקמל. זה לשון. ואתה בונים שימו לי ירס השם על המתכם. והאבוסו הקדושה אימונו בני אלכוי. למה לכולה היי לטרח עצמם בראשיים אלה מחיצה בחולס ובחרגע. בייס תשובס בדובר. תשובה א' כאף בשם לשם גמולים, נצוץ התשוב קידוש שבהם, שם נצם התוי בחלק הלקה הנצחי, And the shomes hem roisham oiratz musik. The chol or the chol hanefech matzmuser nefech. Voit ham sheni maise yodel lispor. Hakodesh hu umaise yodel chayomim chayim chayomim load lom elomim v'yesh eshet is battle. That Ayois, the Eibishter, is eternal, and a Jew is from the Eibishter. It's not shaykh. It's not shaykh that each should not be eternal. But Tshuva Ashniya, to Elas, Tfilas, Avram Avinu Olav HaSholem. V'her lo yakodesh, Gehenim, Shibid Malchis, Kedei Shal Yodam, Yitzarfu, V'Islavna Kol Oivdim Ha'ela. Ki loich, Kol Urachma, Val Kol Yitzur. That's why the Eibishter told Avram Avinu the secret of Gehenim and Shibud Malchus, that every Yid has to be purified. So it's going to happen this way or that way. Loid Kosam, there's a Kosam B'Shem Oilam Matoy Perek Lamadal B'Oid Kosav, skip the brackets, L'bilti Yidach Men Nidach, L'Kol Kach Lama, V'Pnei Shakodesh Atzmei Bono Oilam Es V'Chlis V'Chlivan Lias Toiv V'Rab Oilam Govr B'Amara Kol Kach At Sheyodesh Gehine V'Pnei Shu Grama Ben Nezakin. The Eibishter caused all the nezek. Pain, moidit shoel v'yoel l'mayla oisam. So therefore, the Eibishter is mila them because he feels bad. It's his fault. V'hem yelchu mechayel al choil ad agi zman ach zman rav limonas imat tzadik.
He wanted to make all these people to be at tzaddik.
Yeah. Then he's going to bring from the Medrash Shmuel. Medrash Shmuel is also very choshev. Who's the Medrash Shmuel? It's the Talmud of Darizal. And I'll bring from the Alshich.
Wow.
You remember the Shmuel writes, Olam Amon Iska Kam Olam Atkiya. V'lo Yisrael Kimas Nefesh Rosha Atkim Be'rov Yomim Tzenim Etoira. Mituhara. That the Eibishter is not going to let the Nefesh Rosha get lost. Be'rov Yomim it's going to be pured. V'oz Nignezes Memchitz Tzadikim. V'chein al Zeh Haderech B'chol L'chol HaNeshamas. Ad Sheyituknu Kulon. All of them. V'zeh shekosov hakosov, v'zeh shemen hakosov, amech kulam tzadikim, kulam be'hechlich kulam tzadikim, lefi shu yizbor hachoshem hashavas, levilta yidach mananid, ad kan l'shene from the Medrash Shmuel. Al derech zeh, u'ba'al shekpash shmini, v'yisoid l'dover hanal, u'b'lekute hashas l'Arizal, these all Talmidim of the Arizal. This is the Arizal himself. V'zeh l'shoinoi, kol yisrael yesh l'an chelik l'mavor, rak shezeh yitaken atzmai b'zman mu'et, v'zeh b'zman meruba. When the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, Eilu Shein Chelek L'Elam Haba, it means that they're not going to have a Chelek L'Elam Haba right away. It's going to take a long time till they get to Elam Haba. But eventually, every Yid is going to get there. V'seifim hu limonas tzadikim. Shum zeh shekadosh baruch hu b'yochel matriach etzafim min Hashem kilu l'taknam. V'lo kol kach lama v'shvim sheim neitzer matoi. Sheim nitzchim v'heim roishim oiratz moseh. V'chol hanefech ma'atzma hanefech. So therefore, just like the Eibishter is eternal, the Eibishter will not allow a Yid, the Nefesh of a Yid, to get lost. A Nefesh shel Yona I Efsher Shetia Betela ve'oivedis. So it's impossible. Because Achari Shebesifim HaKodim is born, number one, Asher Efsher Adov Eshkolach Yisrael Yimesh Yizkala Tchesam Eisim, through doing tshuva or through his son, doing something for him, for giving stock and so on. Number two, Mavur B'Kam Shiur came because it says that Tiftich HaTorah she served Lasses Tshuva, yeah, and Ki Muchrach to Shiur came, it's also Muchrach, because the Sifrei of the Arizal, the Talmidim said that it's impossible that a Nefesh should be lost. So now, Novi Bezel Atar, it's Maimar Azal, Nim Kasoyserim Lana. We'll just go into a few of my Chazal, and based on this, everyone can use their own imagination to answer the other Mamar Chazal. Tanam we learned in the Mishnah. Oh, you still yesh lam chelek l'mabov elishem chelek. Vaf lefi mashin is boer liil asher tshuva piron lachem isa tefila mahani shiska gam eilu lo lam haba.
Real kaponim elam asug zeh shelo yasa tshuva v'lo nifru v'lo yispal b'adam lo yakumu b'tchis hamesim l'choyre they won't. L'choyre they won't.
By the way, they're not gonna get.
V'arei ze soiser l'mashin is boer liil b'siv gimel shekol neshama behechre chushi in nitzchis v'i efshe shetis batul ki hi neitzer matoi v'soif tzoktim nem tzadikim k'moi she'en af neshama acher she'en echad l'sham neitzer matoi masi yada k'moi kin efshe yafim neshama acher she'atoi v'du lo takim v'tchis hamesim. So l'choyre is a steer. Here, even though we said that there's could do tshuva and his son could do tshuva and he could daven and he could tzedakah, but at the end they said, like someone just asked, the bottom line is the top line. If you read the top line, it's Eilu she'ein lahem chelek olam haba. And then if you're reading the Arizal, he says the bottom line is that it's impossible that Hashama, which is Nitzchis, which is Ma'aseh Yoda, should get lost. So how do you answer that? Lahoya v'lo liyas after becoming yonim omrazal aleim shelo yoyu v'enosidim liyas. It's meant to say that it's never going to happen to Yid. It's not going to do tshuva. Never has a son, and never has a relative, never gets stuck with him. That's not derechik to answer that. V'em es em bezastira. In the betchil sameisna omo chamakam hain neshama maguf shneim yachid. Loisun shemona chom shein lachelak laba. Hain shaguf shelahem kol v'nevid. Aval neshama shehi neitzem ator. It would be that Taka, the Mishnah says the guy Taka, the neshama has to be eternal. When the Mishnah says it's a shaykh that nebach the shabir that goof cannot go get up l'olam haba. Mevur is a b'shara gilgulim, hakdama yudal from Sefer Gilgulim Perikei. Zel shayne ima nitzutz chotech echet echad moisa chatoim shugufeim kola.
Like some tzaddikim, the body is still the same. So now, 20 years later, even the grave is the same body.
I'm not sure what Beis Mem is. The Ovid, I don't know. Ve'en lo itchis hamesim. Oz kivin shoysa guf kola. Hine a nitzotz mezgalgol beguf acher sheni, v'hu yokum etchiyas hamesim, in kol chelki nitzutz, beguf harishan, nevad v'nichlas. This is one teretz. This is one teretz.
Best main no?
I don't think so. What do you ask for? How could be here? If I'm called a pel mamish, yeah, it could be. Could be. So this is one teretz. This is one teretz. The takazon, neshama is going to be eternal. But maybe taka the goof will we spoke this morning. Okay, there's we said what happens when there's a neshama comes in one gilgul, another gilgul.
So which
goof, goof, right? So
all of them, because the neshama has
you know what? This guy, which the Mishnah said, "Ein lechelek l'mabot," so the goof will not have it. The neshama will. That's one teretz. Number two, Amar Babo Godol Yom Akshamim B'Tchiyas Hamesim. Ilu Tchiyas Hamesim L'Tzadikim Ve'ilu Akshamim Bein L'Tzadikim Bein L'Rishayim. That's what the Gemara says. Oh, so it's interesting about it that we said Tchiyas Hamesim is only L'Tzadikim and Shamim is for both. Rav the Messiah Shem Tligi Derbi Yosi Arim Deva Rambam Deyazu. Avrebabo, mashmas Vayakhel because there's so maskon the leel, kol Vayakhel yokum betchis. Amazing. V'yos think last year al pi girsa betainus the elu tchis amazing tzadikim gemurim. Ubefrat al pi mashkos betanya bir musa tzadik. So, there's another kasha, another stira. Of a maimer about this maimer of Rebabo. The lava chidorish biur kadesh lo yachlek la mishnah the kol yisrael yesh lam chelek la maba. Ve'enu memad b'mishnah elo oimer ein tchiyas hamesim min hatoyr. So belavach is a kashan ababo. Ababo says that tchiyas hamesim is only the tzaddikim, but the Mishnah says it's not. Mishnah says elu she'ein lahem chelek la maba. Oimer min hatoyr mida keneged mida.
You're not gonna get
Yeah. So what's going on?
Body not get
Ela koch tzarich lam tzadikim the kamar babo
Hein, tzadikim the krav amach kulam tzadikim. Shazeh koi al kol Yisrael, not the tzadikim in Tanya. Rabbi Bo was not talking about a tzaddik in Tanya. He was talking about a tzaddik when you go into bagel hole and you're paying, and the Mexican says, "What would you like, tzaddik?" That type of tzaddik we're talking about. Lavad, moitz shemona chachamim. Mashkos al zeh mefoshim kama time shekol Yisrael tzaddikim name. There's a lot of time and why every Yid is called a tzaddik. Pima shekos, over there, whatever. Yesh lohoise bir bazeh in this bar sham. The koidem sheyisku matchis ameitzim. It starts from Vislabnu Vitura Avonim Achi B'Mal Tzadikim. Raziyos Yesh Oretz. Nimtze the whole Shilam Chelek Lamaboy Yovel B'Mal Tzadikim Gemurim. But the emphasis that before Tchis Ameis and Abiyit will Bemis come to the mile of Tzadikim Gemurim. And V'achkech Yikum Tchis Ameis. Nimtze Mavur Maimer Rebabo Behesem L'Kol Anal. It's nicht as a kasha. A dritte kasha. What was the kasha? Bechor is that by the Zohar Keitzum Zomer Hazal Sanedin Samach Dal Beis. Bechor is Hanefesh. Bechor is Be'elam Hazeh. Bechor is Be'elam Haba. V'Rambam Bechor Shuv Bechosum V'Rishon Bechor Shuv V'Yamusu Nichrusu B'Rishon V'Avet V'Heim V'Zo Koris. Oh, so the third the Rambam says that Amen that Ovet Kebehem V'Zo Koris. It's a very strong Rambam.
What's Ovet Kebehem?
He gets like a behemoth gets lost. It's not his name. Behemoth. Behemoth gets geschockt. Get it.
Ah, the Shama can be in that cow because that's part of the Tikkun.
If there's a Gilgal, but that's not what the Rambam was saying. The Rambam was saying that Yishayim Yichresu v'Yamusa v'Ovet Kebehem. It's the kasha. Av Sharambam b'Sharagmul ain't that the king. The Rambam argues. The Ramban argues.
The shortage of those people were like Chav he had a shirish before him. He's a
good. But the Rambam says that
who is the neshama? Who is his neshama? Nobody knows his original neshama.
But the Rambam says that there are persons that they are nichres kebehem. So that's a shaila. What's going on? Aval bekol zeg gam hu koisav sham risham agmurim machmurim shendon l'doiris. Kleksiv telatim lo'tomas v'kamenos alaminim masoiros papikorisim. Shalem Omer Azal Yerdim l'Gehenim and Doidim b'Ladoiris. Gehenim kol v'Enim kolim. So Vayim l'Kut Torah l'Arizal Mazel l'Shona Inyan shel Koris ein ela b'Chelek HaNefesh. Omnam v'Ruach v'Neshama ein v'Hem Koris. The Arizal says the Taka there are such a shayim that they lose the Chelek HaNefesh.
What's a ruach?
The neshama has nefesh ruach neshama.
Oh yeah.
So the lowest level gets lost. On Kvan's board, b'sefer asar ma'amoris, shoyel ch'moyne sham vav kitzes liyem adin, mesayim v'zel l'shoyne. Gehenim ninelas b'fneim v'doinim b'ala doire doiris, achre doire doiris efsher, shivchanu gam heima b'chochma nalama min achoysha machshavas l'vilti yidach min anidach, v'tam gehenim v'ein einim kolim, shonu mafarshim oisek k'fim ha'shapirish chachamim, v'posek chitzik akalabam, Mahosam Chitze Kolam Vehu Tachlis Yisurim Af Kan Gehenim Kolam Vehu Tachlis Oynish Chitzem Gehenim Lo Yishbois Kol Yemei Yosef V'Ktsoif Aleim V'Gorbam Oma Soif Heim Einem Kolam Shiyituknu Kulam V'Tikun Koilo V'Kush the Miltz En L'Chadov V'Nitzke Elo V'Midas HaToiv. Okay. Chol Anal Ugam V'Seif Asara Maimoritz Shkosa V'Shem Chamunim V'Yosef וזה לשון מדוחם לגמרי עד איז בו ידבור יסבורך ויסעלה שמוי ברחם הגדולים ורבים שעיסה לבלתי יידך מן הנידך ובו איז פקודוסו יסבור שמוי מיילה מעט לתקנס לצרפן התחילו מגלגל וחיצוי דקורס סל כדאיתך שנשמה תקבל כליה לגמרי ואין כן אלא פידושי שנכנסס ממקור החיים ומסגלגלס ושם בשער קיריס הארבע מויז ביר וזה לשונה אחי מויס המשיח יחדש הקודש ברוך הוא אלומי וגם מוקם הגהנים יתור ויסקדש וינויס על גבול הגנדן עם רשעים פויש ישראל שבתוכם קיצה הגהנים כולם ויסתערו בקדוש הסגן וישמוך על הקודש עם הצדיקים. So
We're only gonna.
that Bemis is that even these Rishoyim, which L'choyre the Rambam says
At some point, they're gonna.
get there. Then there is a Gemara Psachim. Oy Shabara Kadosh Baruch Hu b'Shem Shabbos ein loy via Ilamis Shel Gehenim.
What is that?
It says that the Oy Shel Gehenim is always going to be burned.
It's there.
Yeah, but
Choda-
B'Sheni b'Shabbos and lo. What
Yeah,
do you mean Shabbat? Because Baruch B'Sheni b'Shabbos.
it's b'Shem b'Shabbos. You made such a fire, it never gets out. Is never going to be burnt out. So Choda Soisla now. We said every Yid is going to end up going out again, and so what's going on over here?
No, the Gehenim is gonna be king.
That's what we said before. Avol chitzay kolam, ein einem kolam. Avol kvar pirish b'asar my moris. Zel shoyne masha amari hagehenim ein lekfir lamis is ein kavanos aloy shelo yifsek eloy lamis. El kolzman shizi ze oilam lo yechova. Avol kshiyachle b'kadosh baruch hu oilam hazeh v'yebatl hara v'yekul shabbos hamenucha l'chai oilamim oz yizbatl gam kein hagehenim. So
maybe it's for Hitler.
no, because he's like nifsak behema maybe.
I know.
Then the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah says Poish Yisrael b'gufan achli b'skodesh gufan kolam nishmos nesrefes v'ruach mispazer ton tachas kapos ragli tzadikim mashma shelo yetchil nishmosam gamke. Aber Pirush Ramban b'shar Gmul nishmosam nesrefes v'nas sefer kolam shenizbatel zu rosam masha hoyse. Yedover nisref amushav
Klipa.
Ruach HaKodesh is borech, Ruach Himche Berotzim Fazat Tachas Kapes Ragla Tzadikim. Koloma Madrege Shir Lamata Moinige Tzadikim Unochosa. Al derech zov Asar Memoris, Shekos V'Mamer Zel Kiyu Efer, V'Zel Yud Nifla, Asher Yesh Boi Chesed, V'Emes, Al Kata Rishoyim, Yu Kule Kodesh, Lerech Tzadikim Shir Lamayla Nikroim, V'Loshen Moshel, Efer Kapes Ragla Tzadikim. So not chas v'sholem that they're going to be in his battle. Klapi, the bigger tzaddikim, they considered efer. Nishra dayin lavar mash'eni movim efshoris atikim. In his borlel, Hashem gemurim, chamurim tekanosim, they shabonim begilgul. The Gilgul matar, memala mashiach shel gehenim latar alamalas. Im ken yiksha pima marazal, there are gimel pomim ba begilgul. V'hu zeh chodesh, Amr Reb Shimon, enich yovim chadl shom la yitztari, v'ele gimel pomim, shivalan l'tekonim, v'zeh koros, nefesh melefonai. We said that there's always going to be a tikkun for the neshamas because they could go to another gilgul.
You don't.
But the shaila is, it says that you can only after 3 times the gilgul expires.
What does it mean expires?
That they can't get another gilgul anymore.
They
wow.
they lost the chance.
Chance 1, chance 2, chance 3,
Strike 1, strike 2.
and then you're out. That's what it says.
And then you go under the tzaddik.
After Mitzvah Davke b'chayavai, Aval Tzedekah, After she's gal come upon him. Upon him, it's Shem Gemurim, After Shabbat upon the Gilgal Latikno, the of the Tikvasam. So, Aval Einyan is bar become a kemis member Shalom b'Shem Marash Alkabetz. Zel Shoyin Einam is Galgam L'Shava L'Shem b'Gimel Pomim Oid Lo is Galgulu. Kim b'Chayis u'b'Behemis Tohiris u'Tmeis. Akal Kal Koiden. וזה שכוסר פעמים שולש עם גבר, משום והלאה בבהמה, ושלא יורד לסייב דעתה לקידש בי, חושב שהוא זל ירחיקוי, והמזבון בדבור רב יובן, כי הוא זל הקריב מציוסוי. The Shalah says that those that learn the Zohar, and they read that after 3 Gilgulim you're out, so they said Nevach, so the Yid is out. It's not true. He's out from being in another Gilgul with a human, but he could still have another Gilgul as what?
With the tzaddik. Tzaddik will.
As the story with the Baal Shem Tov, that the guy, he told this guy, be very careful with the Lechem you're making now. He told him because your father's neshama is megulgul in this yayin sodaf that you're so better make a bracha and have a strong kavanah. Ba'asora ma'imoris kosav im gever daike ad shelo yova oid begilgul ben odom ad sheyi yelech no benod od zizgal bedom tzmei chem medaber begilgul sheidem azikim mitachas moker chem v'zeh shkosav nichnas ha-nefesh ha'im melefonai daike shenigzer aleim oinshem ha'cheirem ha'koshem ha'gehenem v'achkechem yud beis begehenem. But Yesh tikve lachrisei, ache shekiv le'onshe. Ki loy kol urachim av kol briyosov, ad kan l'shoyne from the son of my mothers.
That's what I'm story.
So we see that the pshat is, I'm kind of short. So basically, that Bemis is lo yidach men nidach. The shaila is
How do you trace the words?
that no nidach, he won't push away. The shaila is how long is the journey? The shaila is how long and difficult is the journey until he gets back. How long and difficult is the journey? By Simon Mashakosa, by Sodom Morris. Baruch Hashem Elokei Avram Mishacheset Shleish Hazeh V'Amitim Amei Yisrael Bilti Yidach Men Nidach K'Mechol Racham V'Kol HaYitzur Shenemar V'Racham V'Komas Nimtz Kol Yisod Yesh Lo Chelek L'Olam Haba Shenemar V'Alva Ech Kulam Tzadikim Lo'elam Yishu Oretz Neitzer Matoi Ma'aseh Yodei Lispor.
Tomorrow's daf.
So how does one circumcise this like?
I'll be not mommy best
Huh? What do you say?
Thoughts and seeing.
Hey, Rabbi.
It's attack in his Gilgal.
We're saying, you know,
The Rebbe had a big cough, like I mentioned this morning, that a Yid should try very hard to do at least the Chitzonius, to learn the Kol HaTorah Kula, to do b'maisa, b'machshava di b'maisa, yeah. Right. About you
so why did the Rebbe